The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. Vidal Sassoon. My friends, each and every day, all we ask is 10 to 15 minutes following these charts. If you will dedicate yourself to that, you will succeed. How long will it take? I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that once you do master the charts, you will make up for all the time you ever spent doing it. So the sooner you start, the sooner you will get there. Now, let's jump into these charts. We see stocks are up, bonds, gold, Bitcoin down. Let's jump first into the S&P 500, my friends. This is the market that just keeps on going, doesn't it? Now, as we look at this week, we can see that we are starting off. We've bumped up as far as the Heikin Ashi candlestick goes from this prior connection of about 4 candles, bumped up nicely as far as what you see there as the opening. And again, these are Heikin Ashi candlesticks, but you can see we've not hit a higher high this week, but things are moving in the right direction, up 0.45%. We see things had bounced off the 2-day line, and we can see things well above, the 2-day calendar bounced off the weekly trend line. I'm just used to the past when we would actually have weekly, we would have 2-day, and we would have half-day trend lines. But of course, we learned that since we're trading off the weekly chart, we don't need to confuse ourselves with those other trend lines. We'll just compare those charts, the 2-day and the half-day, with the weekly trend line to see where they are falling. So we do see we bounced off. We came down to it and bounced off back on the 2-day candle representing the 12th and 13th, Wednesday and Thursday, and then popped up since then. So again, that's looking good, hoping we're going to make a higher high and just keep going. People keep asking, how high will this market go? My friends, I don't know, but I know that what goes up must come down. We are still riding the wave going up, which is beautiful, but at some point it's going to turn over, and all those people stuck, they are going to just watch it burn. So we will continue to monitor and see how high this market's going to go, but it's just keeping moving. I'm waiting any day for it to roll over, but I guess that the government just keeps handing out checks and printing money backed by nothing. Who knows how long it will last? Now we look at the NASDAQ 100, and we can see that it's a bit different than the S&P. We had, these 4 weeks of up movement. We can see just a little candle drawing right now with a little wick on top. Nothing like the S&P 500. But again, we do see that it's opening as far as the Heikin Ashi open goes. It is higher. We can see, again, as we look at the volume down here below, remember our volume color is based on if the opening is lower than the prior close. That's what gives us the red candle. It doesn't mean negative volume, so keep that in mind. We have our volume chart set up that way. If we go and look at, you can see right here, color based on previous close. You don't have to check that. If you'll watch to the right of the screen right up here when I uncheck it, watch what happens. It goes to green because it's just matching the color of the candle. So we set it that way. And we leave, of course, our moving average at 20. So as we look here at the NASDAQ 100, we can see it's up a little bit for the day. We can see we're again indecision on that prior 2-day candle, heading down on this one, just the first day of the latest 2-day candle. Remember, these are Heikin Ashi candlesticks. We can see had more down movement in the morning, recovered some in the afternoon, but all red down candles still above, though, on that half-day chart, above, prices above the weekly trend line. Same on the 2-day. So again, are we going to see that pullback starting this week? I don't know, but we'll wait, watch, and see. Now let's move on to what is going down. Bonds pulling back, starting the week off at 0.36%. You can see a doji forming here on the 2-day chart, and you can see where, again, we had those 2 weeks of down movement. Last week trying to move up. This week just sort of sliding. You notice that we've not adjusted our trend line yet. because there's really nothing for us to be able to adjust it to except a flat line on that weekly trend. So we're not excited about jumping into that. Why? Because nothing's taking off. Will it? It might. If it does, we might get excited. But at this point, we're not. So we'll continue to watch, wait, and see. What about gold? Gold pulling back a little bit, 0.43%. Again, starting the week off weekly. We do see that the opening is higher than the trend of last week, but we can see where things really slowed down on that Thursday, Friday 2-day candle, starting this latest 2-day candle, first day of that 2-day candle off week. We can see our trend line there. We can see 1, 2, 3 days of down movement on gold. So again, things are just not taking off to the extent that we would hope they would. Maybe gold's going to build as the week progresses. What do we see going on with Bitcoin? Well, last week was one of those weeks where we just completely blew the trend, and this week now rolling over, hoping that things are going to roll over for a while and let us reset these lines and give us some good candles. We can see where on that 2-day candle representing Friday the 14th and the next Monday broke through that weekly trend line on the 2-day chart and it's headed down since then. And of course you can see where starting on the 14th, Friday down 2.5 days, sideways 2 days, tried to do something for a day, and then of course rolling over, going down on Monday. So not getting much love out of Bitcoin. Just starting the week off, my friends. We'll see how these charts continue to shape up over the course of this next week. We so appreciate you being with us. If you are a subscriber at chartingwealth.com, of course, you will be getting our special training we'll be putting in there for you today on average true range. Extremely important when you're setting your profit and loss bands. And of course, we use average true range on this 2-day chart to help us set our profit and loss bands for our weekly trades. That is where we are. So appreciate you being with us. Always love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, CW at chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.